Hello everyone, Ben here, and welcome back to our 2020 hypothetical matchups. Today is Monday, of course, and well, that's what's scheduled for today. There will be a second video out tonight if I can do it. That's going to be a little treat. It's going to be tied into what Kelvin has done, and I'll talk more about that when we get to it. A little quick update. I was actually sick over the weekend, so that's why I missed two uploads. I was basically useless on Saturday and Sunday. On Friday, I tried to upload a video, but YouTube, for some reason, didn't actually. YouTube had issues. For once, it wasn't me. Anyway, so today we're looking at the person I think has the absolute best chance of beating Donald Trump in 2020. And that's Sherrod Brown of Ohio. And there's a reason. He's fairly centrist. He is also able to, communicate with progressives. He comes from the Midwest and the Rust Belt. He is, young for the Democrats' bench. And, he was mentioned often as a running mate for Clinton. The other benefit is that he comes from a swing state, and a very valuable swing state. So, we're just going to go through the normal gamut and show you these. And I'm not going to not do leans and likelies just because I think it's valuable to see it'll actually show the difference between candidates, not just in states they win, but by how much. So we're just gonna get rid of the normal solid states in every direction. Okay, that should be that. And we're going to get rid of California. We're going to make sure Illinois is top tagged off. New York, Vermont, Maine. Actually, sorry, just Maine's 1st district. And there we go. And actually, I should put that in there because that's going to be fairly solid for Trump. Okay, so this is what it looks like without any of the battleground states factored in. But let's go ahead and just get rid of the states that are likely to go one way or the other. And I should have included Indiana. Georgia is likely, and that's actually it in this case. And we'll go New Mexico. Yeah, that's it in that case. And then we're going to go with the lean states, and that would be New Mexico. This vote, I honestly think this one would lean blue, just ever so slightly. This is going to lean blue. The rest are what I would consider, yeah, okay. Now, the reason why I say this is Sherrod Brown has kind of the personality and most characteristics of a generic Democrat, but he also has a good record in Congress. As far as I can tell, he doesn't have the corruption issues of, say, a Hillary Clinton or a Cory Booker, or a Governor Cuomo or a Jerry Brown or someone like that. So I think that's one of the reasons why he stands very well. And we're going to go through and just go from most valuable swing state to the least valuable. Okay? So we're going to start with Florida. I'm going to give it to Trump just because of incumbency. Which, I know that's going to maybe ruffle little feathers, but I think incumbency is that powerful. And plus, it is kind of like a second home state. He uses Mar-a-Lago a lot still. So world leaders go to Florida quite often, you know. And also, it has a high retiree population, which, you know, that helps him out because he's generally, whoops, I forgot Hawaii. That one's on me. But the retiree population really helps him out because he does better amongst older people. He also doesn't do terribly amongst the Cuban population, but he doesn't do as well as most Republicans would. A generic Republican would handedly win the Cuban population against Sherrod Brown. Marco Rubio would do extremely well there. Okay, but I think this is where some of the news starts to sour. I don't think he would maintain Pennsylvania. I don't think he would maintain Wisconsin. I'm not even sure if he could maintain Michigan. And Virginia would also be a lean blue state. I do think he would still win Ohio, but not by nearly as much as he did in 2016. And New Hampshire would probably also lean blue. So in this case, I actually would see Sherrod Brown making Trump a one-term president. I honestly do think he is the ideal candidate to take down Trump. He's from the correct state. Even though he won't win it, he's from the Midwest and Rust Belt, and he'd be able to flip all these extremely close victories in that Trump had in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. He'd be able to flip those to the Democrats and get Ohio less of a blowout. And, you know, that would just be, you know, that's my honest thoughts on it. Now, as for why I'm not going to do a Trump versus Hillary or Trump versus Bernie, I don't even think they're going to bother running. For a few reasons. Number one, Clinton she's going to still have the exact same baggage she had in 2016. With the added detracting factor of she's even older. And, you know, surprisingly, her health was a serious question, whereas Trump's was whatever. And there's a reason for that, okay? She, you know, had a seizure at the 9/11 memorial. We can't forget that. And age doesn't make those things any better. I don't think she could handle the stress of running another vitriolic campaign against Trump, which it would be. The other candidate that's sometimes mentioned is Bernie Sanders. You know, I could see him trying to run. I just don't think he has the will or the desire to. And plus, he's even older. Age was was an extremely serious question for Sanders. It's not going to be a question of if he's capable of running, because he is in pretty good health. It's going to be whether or not he's even alive to run. And I'm not trying to be morbid here, but it is a serious question we have to ask. Is he even going to be alive in 2020 to run? You know, and if I remember correctly, he'd be like, he'd be in his 80s. Now, of course, nowadays that's not that big of an issue, okay? But that's still extremely old. I mean, Trump is pushing it on age, you know? So, I just don't think Bernie or Hillary are going to run. It would legitimately surprise me if they ran, okay? And as for Joe Biden, his best shot was 2016. Okay, if it had been Joe Biden instead of Hillary Clinton, I honestly think Biden would have won in 2016. But with a similar map to this, with a very similar map to this. Um, but I just don't think he is going to run in 2020. I think he realizes he missed his chance. Could he run? Of course, but it would surprise me again. Okay, I'm trying to do this on candidates I actually think are going to run, not just what everybody says is going to happen. Because, as we all know, what everybody said was going to happen didn't happen. You know, and plus, we're going to have. If we had Clinton fatigue by the middle, before she even won the Democrat nomination, that's going to happen again. Of those three candidates that people love to speculate about, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Joe Biden, the most likely to run would be Joe Biden. But the reason why I'm not including here is I don't think he'd be able to flip a single state Trump won in 2020. It's the difference 4 years makes. And also the difference incumbency makes. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.